Iowa Democrats, get on your feet and welcome to the stage your chairman, Troy Price.
We're all in this together. All in this together. We're all in this together. All in this together.
Good evening, Iowa Democrats. It is my honor and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Iowa Democratic Party 2019 Liberty and Justice Celebration. I wish you could be down here tonight to see what I can see. You know, it was only 3 years ago that we had one of the most devastating elections in our party's history. And at that time, people said that our party was dead. But we are here tonight, 13,000 people saying the Iowa Democratic Party is not going anywhere. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge a few people who are here with us this evening. We are so fortunate in this party to have so many amazing, outstanding volunteer leaders who work hard every day to build our party. Our county chairs, our district chairs, and our state central committee members, including our vice chairs, Andrea Phillips and June Owens, who are doing the hard work every day to build our party. Please join me in thanking them for all their hard work. And we stand here tonight on the shoulders of those who came before us. People like Congressman Neil Smith, former Attorney General Bonnie Campbell, former Lieutenant Governors Sally Peterson and Patty Judge, Ruth Harkin, and the father of the Americans with Disabilities Act, Senator Tom Harkin. Former First Lady Christy Vilsack, and former Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack. Thank you all for the work that you have done to build our party. We are also honored to be joined tonight by some outstanding leaders from all across this country who are working hard to build our party. We have eight of my fellow state party chairs here in the room, the head of the Young Democrats of America, several members of Congress, and of course, our chair of the Democratic National Committee, Tom Perez. Please give them a hearty Iowa welcome. And we are also joined by a number of great outstanding local officials, legislators, and so many others, as well as those who are hoping to join their ranks. These are people who are working hard out there to try and not just live our values, but enact our values. So please join me in thanking them for all the hard work that they do. I want to also thank the outstanding staff here at the Iowa Event Center. I want to thank the outstanding staff of the Iowa Democratic Party, who are now organized under the Teamsters. I want to thank all of them for making this event possible. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge someone who isn't going to be here this evening. As you folks have heard, Congressman O'Rourke dropped out of the race this afternoon. And I just want to say thank you to Congressman O'Rourke for the voice that he brought to this conversation. And I want to thank all of his supporters who worked so hard behind the cause. I want to also just take a moment of personal privilege to thank my parents who are here this evening, as well as my long-suffering husband, Eric, who has to put up with way too much to allow me to do this job. And finally, I want to thank all of you for being here. You know, it was at this dinner just 1 year ago that we talked about the promise of our party. We asked all of you to believe in this party and to believe in Iowa. We asked you to believe in the farmers of Potawatomi County who wake up before dawn every day and toil until their hands ache. We asked you to believe in the nurses and the home health aides of Des Moines and Sheldon who stay up late working second, third shift to take care of those around us. We asked you to believe in the school teachers of Cedar Rapids and the Little League coaches of Keosauqua who give everything they've got for our kids. And we asked you to believe in the veterans of Waterloo and the first responders in Davenport who we honor for their service. We ask you to believe in students and seniors, factory workers, and freelancers. We ask you to believe in young Iowans and old Iowans, urban Iowans and rural Iowans. We asked you to believe in Iowa, and you did. You went out there in all 99 counties and worked hard, and because of you, we helped change this state. Because of you, we made history by re-electing Dave Loebsack and giving him a little help along the way by sending Abby Finkenauer and Cindy Axne, the first two women from Iowa to ever hold those positions. You gave our good friends, Tom Miller and Mike Fitzgerald, a little help up at the State House by electing Rob Sand to be our new state auditor. We flipped 8 seats in the Iowa legislature. We won victories up and down the ballot, and we did all of that because you refused to give up. So thank you all for the work that you've done. And now it could have been easy. It could have been easy the day after the election for us to just sit back, say, well, that was pretty good. We're just going to take the rest of the year off. That's not what we do. That's not who Iowa Democrats are. And so we got up that next morning and we got to work on 2020. We hired organizers earlier. We started reaching out to communities that are far too often whose voice is not heard in our party. We started building out our infrastructure. And I'm proud to say that work is paying off. You can see it all across this state. You can see it in communities large and small. You can see it in the work of people like Robin Stone, the chair of the Delaware County Democrats, who has, over the time of her tenure, increased their Central Committee meetings to over 100 in a rural county. Robin is currently battling an aggressive form of cancer, and she couldn't be with us tonight. But I know that all of us here are praying for her speedy recovery, praying for her to get better, and we all look forward to campaigning with her again soon. You see it in places like Fairfield, where on the day of the Cyhawk tournament, where everyone was in a bar watching Iowa play Iowa State, an overflow crowd came out for a training because folks in the 2nd District know that we have to hold on to Dave Loebsack's seat. You see it in Southwest Iowa, where Democrats from 10 counties have come together to create the Southwest Iowa Democrats, who are not just out there recruiting candidates. They're not just out there knocking doors. They're living our values. They go out once a month to help those affected by the devastating floods that have affected the western part of our state. And you see it in places like O'Brien County, where I was in August, where they had their first fundraiser in years. And more than 75 people showed up, and they came there because they were united in the same belief that we The party can and must do better to win up and down the ballot. All of these Democrats, and so many more have stepped up because they know what is at stake in this election. They don't want to sit on the sidelines. They want to take charge. They want to have a say in the future of our state and our country. And so, my friends, I am here to tell you tonight that our party is not just back. Our party is back, and it is stronger than ever. So I can tell you, I am proud to be an Iowa Democrat. And when I look at this outstanding field of presidential candidates, this inspiring field of presidential candidates, I am even more proud. Now, in a few minutes, you're going to have a chance to hear from the candidates. And over the last few months, they have traveled our state. They've been here multiple times. And they've come to see what makes this state so special. Now, it's not just the t-shirts from Ray Gun. It's not just the fried food at the Iowa State Fair. They come back because they know that Iowans know and believe in good old-fashioned organizing. And when we organize together, we win together. And so here in Iowa, we're not afraid of a little hard work. And that's a good thing, because we have a lot of work to do. For all of us here tonight who are planning to caucus, there are so many more that we know that aren't planning to do so. They may be too busy with work to pay attention to politics. They may be staying up late at night wondering how they're going to pay to send their kids to college or how they are going to pay grandma's medical bills. They may be looking at what's happening coming out of this White House and coming out of the Republicans in Congress and coming out of the Republicans at the State House and saying, what's the point? So my first ask for you this evening, folks, is to go out there and talk to your friends and neighbors. Talk to them about our party. Talk to them about our candidates. Talk to them about our caucuses, and talk to them about the issues that affect their lives. Make sure you give them a reason to come out and have their voice heard. Because if they say to you that they're tired of billionaires getting tax breaks and farmers getting the shaft, you need to tell them that it is the Democratic Party that's fighting for good jobs that provide dignity and food on everyone's table. If they're sick and tired of drug companies robbing us blind, or quite frankly, if they're just plain sick, tell them that it is the Democratic Party that is fighting for quality, affordable health care for every single person in this country. That is their absolute human right. If they are angry that our teachers are being disrespected and our classrooms don't have enough money, you can tell them that it is only the Democratic Party that is fighting to put more money into our schools, to show our teachers the respect they deserve, and make sure that every kid has a chance to reach their God-given potential. If they are fed up with the union busting by Republicans in the State House, tell them that it is the Democratic Party that is fighting to support collective bargaining rights, fighting for workers' rights, and fighting to make sure that every single worker's voice is heard in their workplace. If someone tells you that they're tired of parts of this state being underwater for 9 months and that they don't understand why the weather is getting crazier, you can tell them that it is the Democratic Party that believes in science, and it's the Democratic Party that's going to fight climate change with every single thing we've got. You can tell them that we are the party that stands with Planned Parenthood, and that we don't believe that politicians should ever get in the way of a woman's right to make her own health care decisions. You can tell them that we are the party that is electing record numbers of women, record numbers of people of color, record numbers of people with disabilities. We are the party that's electing LGBTQ Iowans, because you know what? We believe our elected officials should look like Iowa and look like America. You can tell them that Democrats don't demonize refugees. We welcome them, because Midwestern hospitality Midwestern hospitality and American values aren't just for some. They aren't just for the few people who look a certain way, pray a certain way, act a certain way, or love a certain way. They are for everyone. You can tell them that the Democratic Party is the party that believes that our best days are ahead, not behind us. You can talk to them all day. You can talk to them all day about what our party stands for, but ultimately, it comes down to this. Democrats stand not for the chosen few, but we stand for everyone. And that is what this election comes down to. And so my second ask to you tonight is that after you talk to your friends and neighbors, every single person in this room needs to make sure that they are getting involved. They need to go out, and you don't have to wait too long. In just 4 short days, there are critical municipal and school board elections. And so make sure, I need everyone here to get out there and vote. But beyond that, we need you to get involved in these caucuses. Not just to show up, we need you to get actively involved. So if you haven't made up your mind yet, we want you to go out there. You need to go out there and ask the candidates hard questions. You need to go out there and talk to them about what you believe, what the values are, not only of yourselves, but of our state. And once you make a decision, I want you to go out there and fight like hell. Make those calls, knock those doors. And when we wake up on February 4th, when the primary has moved to the great state of New Hampshire, we must come together as one. We must come together as Democrats, united behind the laser focus on rejecting the politics of fear and division that we see coming out of the Republican Party, and united to try and make sure that we usher in a new era for our state and our country. This is our time, Iowa Democrats, and we are all in this together. So if we go out there and knock those doors, make those phone calls, and do the hard work, we are going to be able to change this state. We are going to be able to take back the Iowa legislature and make sure that Todd Pritchard is the next Speaker of the House and Janet Peterson is the next Majority Leader of the Iowa Senate. I don't know about you, but I think it's time that we have a fighter for working Americans again in the United States Senate. And so let's make sure we send Joni Ernst to an early retirement and elect a Democrat that's going to carry on Tom Harkin's legacy. Let us make sure that we keep the U.S. House fighting for all Americans. And that's why we must re-elect Abby Finkenauer. That's why we must re-elect Cindy Axne. And let's make sure we sweep all 4 congressional districts by holding on to the Senate and sending Steve King out on his rear end. And let's put this question to rest once and for all. Iowa is not a red state. Iowa is, in fact, a blue state. So let's defeat Donald Trump and send his ass back to Russia. His time is up, everyone, but our time is just beginning. Iowans are counting on us. America is counting on us. The world is counting on us. So roll up your sleeves, put on your canvassing boots, and get to work only as Iowans can. Never stop, never quit, and never forget that when the Iowa Democratic Party gets going, there is nothing in the world that can stop us. Thank you all so much.
Feel like we're alone. We're all candles in the dark, burning flames born from our hearts. Look inside, who am I? We're lost, but we're
And now, I want to welcome the folks who are already out there hard at work, our great statewide and federal candidates. Please give it up for Attorney General Tom Miller.
all in this together.
Give it up for State Treasurer Mike Fitzgerald. Your State Auditor, Rob Sand. The representative of the 1st District, Abby Finkenauer. From the 2nd District, Dave Loebsack. The representative from the 3rd District, Cindy Axney. Your next Speaker of the House, Todd Pritchard. Your next Senate Majority Leader, Janet Peterson. And let's welcome the folks that hope to join their ranks. Please welcome our good friend Rita Hart, who is running in the 2nd District. Welcome our good friend who's going to defeat Steve King, J.D. Schulten. And let's welcome the folks who are working to defeat Joni Ernst, Admiral Michael Franken, Kimberly Graham, Teresa Greenfield, and Eddie Morrow. Let's hear it for our outstanding officials.
We're all in this together.
Thank you, Congressman.
You did a great job.
Thank you. I salute you. Thank you. Nicely done.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
You got more to give yet?
Just not much.